Life. It's all about decisions, isn't it? Here you go. Here's 70 years of consciousness in a world of infinite variety and options. What are you going to do with it? Get a job, buy a house, get married, have children. The family home. A place of understanding and support. Or sometimes just a place full of sponges and layabouts we don't really like or have anything in common with. What if you can't be bothered with all that family nonsense? How do you find your place in society? Put the children to bed, pour yourself a large drink as we embark upon the final episode of What to Do If You're Not Like Everybody Else. And now, try to muster the sort of forced enthusiasm with which you might welcome a rich elderly relative into your own homes. As your host makes his way to the stage, it's me, the little-known stand-up comedian, Andrew Lawrence. Thank you. Lovely, lovely rousing applause. There's got a few couples in. That's nice to see. I've got a girlfriend now. She's real! And, oh, it's going very well. I'm very pleased, because I haven't had a lot of luck, romantically speaking, in life. I started doing comedy. I thought, I'm on to a good thing here. If there's one thing women find attractive in a man, it's a good sense of humour. Then I found out that's rubbish. Ladies, when you say you find a good sense of humour attractive in a man, what you mean is when you find a man attractive, you will laugh at any old nonsense that comes out of his mouth. And unless it's happened, I'm in a relationship, it's good. I'm glad. Who knows how long it will last? The old cliche has it, it's all about communication, about listening. I'm terrible at listening, dreadful. My girlfriend says, Angie, you never listen. I say, yes, please, love, milk and 2 sugars. She says, you're not listening, Andrew. I say, to be fair, Petrol, you do talk quite a lot. Maybe you don't need someone who can listen. You need someone who can sift and filter all the things coming out of your mouth and extrapolate the important information you might be tested on at a later date. She walks off without saying anything. I wonder who's lost the argument. Then we don't have sex for 3 weeks. I realise it was me. Very well. It's going very... I'm delighted. We went on a holiday. We stayed in a nice hotel in the countryside. We were walking around, and she said, let's go in the tea rooms, Andrew. I was like, oh, all right. And she said, I'll buy you a cake. What would you like? I said, that's very generous. I'll have a scone, please. She said, no! I said, what? They're right in front of us. They're pretty much the cheapest cake in this whole shop. She said, you can have a scone, Andrew. I'm not buying you a scone. I said, scone? Scone? What's the difference? She said, no, Andrew, you don't say gone. You say gone. You don't say scone. You say scone. I said, I call a scone, and frankly, correcting people in their pronunciation is not something which I condone. I don't really like your patronising tone. Hurts my feelings next time you call me. I may not even answer the phone. You're always correcting everyone in their pronunciation. You're like a dog with a bone. Pretty soon you're not going to have any friends left. You're going to die all alone. If you want to call a scone, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I don't want to get into some big argument, because honestly, I'm starting to think this relationship isn't going to last very long. I think we can all agree I emerged very much victorious from that argument. Regrettably, she spent much of the afternoon sulking. In a sense, it ruined the holiday, but at the end of the day, a win is a win! No one can take that away from me. We moved in together a while ago, delighted about that. I was over the moon. Also a little bit apprehensive, because I remember before we moved in together, she came round to my flat one day while I was sleeping, let herself into the flat with the keys I'd given her for emergencies. She walked through the flat, into my room, over to the bed, leaned over the bed, presumably for purposes of her own puerile amusement. She started to dribble a stringy spit in my face. I woke up startled, baffled and scared, just instinctively slapped her. I felt terrible. She didn't get angry, upset, she didn't shout at me. I really admired her for that. You should never hit a woman, it's unforgivable, indefensible. What I learned that day, rightly or wrongly, don't judge me for this, but if you pick the right moment, make it quick, you can get away with it, you really can. Going very well. I'm very happy. And although the problem is, in a relationship, after a while, you start to feel the burden of development weighing heavily upon your shoulders. You think, oh, this is going well. Why don't we change things irrevocably by moving in together, getting married and having children, see if we can't destroy that happiness and ruin our lives. problem with children is they're born, they scream, they cry, they learn to talk, they start asking questions like, what's the sky for? Why are you asking me this? Teachers that get paid to tell you about these things. What's the sky for? It's a roof on the world. Why does the world need a roof? To stop us all falling out. What does gravity do? Keeps us all stuck to the ground. Why does the world need a roof? This is a very circular conversation that could feasibly end up with me putting you up for adoption. Where do babies come from? The same place you came from. Where did I come from? Your mummy's belly. How did I get inside my mummy's belly? She ate you. Why did she eat me? Because you asked too many questions. A lot of babies are quite astonishingly ugly as well, aren't they? No, they are, though. People are not happy that they've got an ugly baby. They delude themselves. They persuade themselves they've got a beautiful baby, and they show it to you for validation. Look at my baby. You can't say, wow, that's wonderful, because that's lying. You can't say, oh, that's disgusting, because that's rude. But you've got to say something. So you say, wow, he looks just like you. Congratulations. I think it's never wise just to jump straight in and have children. I think the best thing to do is work your way up to it. Start off with the pets, you know, goldfish, and then gerbils, a rabbit maybe, a dog, and then move on to having children eventually. I wish I'd had a dog when I was growing up. I think I'd be a nicer person now, because dogs like me. Whenever I'm out with my girlfriend, people's dogs run over to me in the street. This irritates my girlfriend, because she likes dogs. She wants the dogs to run over to her, but they never do. They always run over to me. And last time this happened, I was teasing her. I said, looks like that dog's pretty interested in me. Couldn't seem to care less about you, though. She said, there's a very good reason for that, Andrew. It's because your balls stink. You have stinky balls. Subject I've been meaning to broach with you for a long time, Andrew. Difficult to raise, but now seems as good a time as any. Your balls stink, Andrew. And what happened was that dog was all the way over there in the distance. He could smell your stinky balls. He thought, who's this crazy little ginger man with his stinky balls? I better go over there and get a better sniff of this man's balls. And he came over, Andrew. He said, wow, these are the most extremely stinky balls I've ever smelled. I may need to stand back a little bit because you stink, Andrew. That's why the dogs are attracted to you, because you stink. I said, well, that's certainly one theory. Or maybe the dogs are attracted to me because I'm a human being and they're just intrigued, whereas they take one look at you and your general appearance, just automatically assume you're one of them. I'm just a nice man who's taking you out for a walk. Then she wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the afternoon. Apparently I'd ruined her birthday. I don't know. I think generally with children, I suspect it's best to just imagine it's going to be hideous and then it's going to ruin your life. Aim low, and that way you can't be disappointed, can you? Well, not too disappointed anyway. I suspect that children very rarely turn out the way parents hoped. I've no doubt I'm a profound disappointment to my parents. My mum came to see me do a gig recently for the first time ever. She's an Irish lady. She's wonderful. She tries to encourage me in everything that I do. But when she thinks I'm rubbish or something, she's not all that good at disguising it. She said, oh, that was great, Angie. You stepped on stage, you started talking, you carried on talking. Not everybody was listening, but you didn't let that faze you. Carried on talking, you didn't even seem to stop to think about the next thing you were going to say. It was almost as if you had the whole thing planned out in advance. Well done, son. There's more to it than that, Mum. I know at one stage you took the microphone out of the stand, you started walking around. I thought, stick to what you know, son. Don't overreach yourself. Don't get over-ambitious, but you did very well. You left at the end. Enough people clapped so that it wasn't embarrassing. Well done, son. There's more to it, Mum. It's more about me trying to think of funny things to say, make an audience laugh. You should come see me do another gig. Oh, no, I wouldn't want to do that. No, I'd be bored out of my mind, Andrew. I think the most disruptive, childish, attention-seeking member of any family is always the dad. My dad craves the attention and sympathy of other people, and I'll give you an example of this. He's never had a sweet tooth. He doesn't like sugary things, but a couple of years ago, he found out he had diabetes, and ever since then, at the end of every family meal, he'll say, I think I'll have a pudding, just so that someone will turn around and say, you can't have a pudding, Dad, you've got diabetes, so that he can say, oh no, don't you feel sorry for me? Isn't it terrible? I don't really feel sorry for you, Dad. You don't like sweet things, you don't like puddings, you do like fried breakfast, that's why you've got diabetes in a way. there are any old people at home listening to this, I want to say congratulations. Done a wonderful job. You messed up the environment. You plunged us all into this global economic crisis. Gave yourself cheap housing, full employment, free education. You had a wonderful time. You sold my generation down the river. Now you expect me to pick up the pieces of your broken world? You disgust me, old people. These days, the kids get out of university with their degree and their 5-figure student loan debt. There's no job for them because you old people won't retire. Just go on working year after year, clogging up the job market. Then you do retire, but you won't die. Why won't you die? But thanks for tuning in. In a nutshell, families are not all they're cracked up to be, are they? None of us gets to choose the family that we're born into. And it seems in a lot of areas of life we don't get a lot of choice. In this series of what to do if you're not like everybody else, we've examined the effort we all put into our personal appearance, the pressure we all face to look good, the difficulties of human communication and interaction, the burdens of work and the pressure upon us to all get married, settle down, have children, create families. We're all expected to be a certain way in this world, to fit a certain mould, to conform to certain ideals. How do we escape from all that? What are we supposed to do? Run away and join some sort of strange commune somewhere? I've seen a few of these alternative communes at first hand, and I don't think there's the solution, really. Just sinister little congregations of the lonely and demented, where instead of working all the time to earn more and more money, people just share what they have amongst each other, unless someone's got something properly good, in which case they keep it for themselves and hide it from everyone else in the commune. Generally speaking, these places come with their own petty rules and regulations, but maintain a sinister facade of being liberated utopias of unimpeded joy. In reality, there's just a lot of chickpea and lentil eating goes on, incense burning. Nobody ever has a wash or cuts their toenails. It's bloody disgusting. There's lots of children running about. Nobody knows who they belong to. And everybody has sex with everyone else because no one believes in the burden of ownership, monogamy enforces on people. Consequently, there's a lot of diseases flying about in people's nether regions. And when they're not scratching themselves surreptitiously, these crackpots are off somewhere, breaking into some animal testing laboratory, setting all the monkeys free, setting the whole place on fire, or they're sitting up a tree in protest at some new flyover that's being built. Or if they get really bored, they might falsely pretend to the apocalypse and end up topping themselves in some ridiculous suicide pact. What I'm saying is the communes always end in complete disaster, and everyone involved ends up going a bit mental, even if they weren't mental to begin with, which they probably were. It's difficult to know where a life of genuine freedom and choice can be found. And unfortunately, it's time to bring this series of what to do if you're not like everybody else to a disappointing, listless conclusion. I think it's fair to say we've made no great discoveries. We've in no way made the world a better place. But hopefully you've had a bit of a chuckle and it's passed the time. And if you ever find yourselves looking around at the rest of humanity and thinking, I have absolutely nothing in common with these people, try and draw consolation from the fact that you're not alone. Well, I mean, in a sense you are alone, but there are other lonely people. Even if it just feels like it's just you on your own at the time, you know, you're not alone, because loneliness is a feeling all lonely people have when they're on their own. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like all the best slow-witted people, I have many questions, but none of the solutions. That's probably best if you all just go away and work things out for yourself. My name's Andrew Lawrence. Thank you for listening, and good night.
What to Do If You're Not Like Everybody Else was written and performed by Andrew Lawrence. The producer was Jane Bertu.